Anyway, man, look, it's been a great show. Dre, why don't you close us out, man? Give us some good words, man, to any of those brothers out there, and not just black brothers, but minorities, because minorities come in all shape, forms, of fashion. At some point, our Caucasian brothers are minorities also, you know, in certain situations on the football field,
in California,
you know, in basketball court.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So give us some words of wisdom, brother.
So the number one enemy to a black male is the internalization of inferiority. Once you believe that lie that you are inferior or you are incapable or you don't have a bright future ahead of yourself, you become your worst enemy. Because now you don't have to have another racist experience for the rest of your life. You already have a system of thinking that's going to keep you down all on your own. So I would say, you know, I grew up poor in the hood, no father, that narrative. And the reason why I got out is because I always had a vision. So one thing I would tell a black male is you're going to need a vision in order to make it through this maze. If you don't have something, like the vision represents like the North Star, and you walking through this maze of racism, if you got a vision to follow, even when you get stuck in a corner, you still got some type of navigational tool to get you back on track. I would also say figure out what your strengths are, and I said this earlier, I think, and focus on that. I think as humans we do it naturally, but I think black males are more likely to focus on their weaknesses because they're constantly reminded of their barriers and the things that they struggle with. So I figure out what your strengths are and focus on those. That would be second. And I would just say have hope. So I teach my son this all the time. I tell him no matter where you find yourself in life, be confident that you can outthink, outwork, and outpray any situation. So I've been in some terrible situations, but I never lost hope because I like sooner or later I'm gonna outthink this, or I'm gonna pray and God gonna get me out of this, or I'm gonna get on my grind and work my way out of this situation. And I think the last thing I would say is never make excuses, because once you get in the habit of making excuses, you automatically limit the amount of input that you're going to put towards your vision. And you're not going to be a man because you're going to fall back on, I'm going to just tell people this happened and that happened. No, don't make an excuse, especially don't use race as an excuse, and don't be entitled. When I say entitled, thinking that America is going to give you what you need to build your vision.
It's not.
And it's reasonable to think that America, you know, as a black male, America does owe black people, but the problem is we're never getting reparations.
Get it.
So just let it go and go get your own.
I don't want no damn mule. Give me a Porsche.
Right.
I don't want more 40 acres.
You're gonna have to work for it because you're not gonna just get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I say the last two things I'm gonna say is, because black males, their image is so stigmatized. Most of them again have this playlist of negative. You know how you have a playlist of songs?
It repeats.
Yep. And it's like a playlist of songs that each song reaffirms their racist message that something's wrong with you. And so for one, you should have you a playlist, a real musical playlist that triggers your man instinct and makes you confident and energizes you so that you can do the things that you need to do. And then also I had to do this at a low point in my life. I made a list of 10 positive statements about myself. So I would say things like, I am intelligent. I will be successful. I'm a strong black man. I will be a great father. Things like that. And I used to repeat it 2 times a day. Once in the morning before I left for work and school, and then once before I went to bed. And in the beginning, it's hard to believe that stuff sometimes. You just feel like you're lying to yourself. But just like it took Mother America a while to condition you to be an underachiever, it's going to take you a while. It's going to take a little while. So don't panic. Keep saying it, and guess what? Sooner or later, you'll believe it. And the last thing I'll say, get you a role model or a mentor. And what I had to use, because I grew up on, I don't know, you guys not from around here, but I grew up on Highland and also on Watkins, and there was no fathers around. There was, I think, on each of those blocks, there might have been 1 or 2 fathers. So some of us are going to be in a position where you can't find a mentor. I call it a virtual mentor, meaning you find somebody, a black male preferably, but it doesn't have to be black, that has a way of thinking that you admire, or another way of saying it, that is successful. If you find any black male successful in America, he has something that he knows that he can teach you. And so you research guys that are out there winning. It could be like an Eric Thomas guy or a pastor or whatever, and watch their videos on YouTube. because what they're telling you is this is how I thought, or this was the thinking pattern that I used to get ahead in America, in a country that's not set up for me. I still beat it. So that's it. I'm done.